Hey guys, it is Monday, September 12th, and just wanted to share a few thoughts with you guys. Um, so I kind of think anxiety, if you were to look at like a rock wall, I feel like we're always in a state of survival. So we're climbing the rock wall to get to this point, and we forget that we have a harness on. So we cling to other people, we cling to situations, we cling to external factors, we cling on to the life of us. Hell, we even cling on to ourselves. So this rock wall climbing is experienced in everything. But we forget that there's a net that's waiting for us if we fall. So we are so, fixated on, I guess, so I was like meditating today, and they were saying like it's a really unique program. It's cool. Like you basically are discarding thoughts, yourself, um, people, like, and these are just images, not the actual people or yourself, obviously, but like the images that you accumulate over time. So today's topic was letting go of a habit that you have that's kind of like not helping you, and it's not serving you or the people around you. And I did some reflection. I think OCD, the habit is really rigid thinking and being in a state of rigidity. And we do this all the time. And I'll speak for myself, can't speak for you guys, but I think like it's kind of similar how OCD operates. But with me, it's like having things have to be a certain way, trying to control outcome, trying to control people, trying to control situations, thinking that there's only one set way or one perspective. And I think that is linked to comfort. We associate comfort with rigidity, because rigidity, we make rules to live in, we create a box for ourselves to live in, and we stay within that comfort, right? Because we think it's safe. But it's actually imprisoning us. So I kind of like to see OCD, or I look at rigid thinking as a skill. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but we're just so good at this skill of rigid thinking, things having to be a certain way and thinking our way into one outcome. But if we can look at that as a skill set that we have, rigid thinking, there's an opposite to that, right? And that's flexibility. Being able to see the bigger picture and not cling to any outcome or any situation or any person or anything. And this is actually going to be more freeing. And I think the reason why we create certainty is because we don't want to experience discomfort of the unknown. But that's like where life is, and that's where the adventure and excitement lies. So what is the opposite of rigid thinking? It's kind of like an exploration, a spontaneity. It's a different mindset that you can cultivate. You're not stuck to be a rigid thinker. Like, that's not you. That's a skill that we've acquired, but it's not necessarily a negative thing. Like, it's just something we just got really good at. So it's about undoing the counter opposite effect. Really good at rigid thinking. How about the opposite, which is open-mindedness? And how can you cultivate that? Looking at life as it is versus how you want to see it. So taking experience out of what is in front of you versus expecting something to be a certain way. Like, what can I learn from this situation? What is this showing me without my filters? So maybe it's, going to a different restaurant you've never been to before. Maybe it's calling that person that you want to meet up with. Maybe that's learning a new language, or, I don't know, learning a new skill. Watching something on TV that interests you. And this is all about expanding outside of that box that we've created for ourselves. So think about how you can start making open-mindedness a habit, just as we've done with rigid thinking. Like, oh, I need to wear this color for something to happen that's good. I need to do this, do that. Look at how rigid that is versus I'm just going to wear whatever I want and go with the day. So look at open-mindedness as a habit that you can cultivate. It's a skill set, and that's just something that we people that have OCD just we haven't really explored that very much. So how can you be more open-minded today? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about. But yeah, our thinking that we're creating comfort for ourselves is actually more uncomfortable in the long run, because we're like putting these unnecessary like we're making these crazy stories for ourselves that we need to abide by, but like that's all from our own brain. Like our brain is creating this stuff. So can you try living outside of your brain and in the actual world? I think that's all I have to say on that, and I will talk to you soon.